How you doing? And good morning, good morning, good morning. Yankees universe. I know you guys miss me. I apologize for being away this last Tuesday, but we got spring training. We got Yankee news to talk about. Yankees morning brew, the brew crew. Tune in, get your coffee, and let's go. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning, Yankees universe. KOD Nation, stand up, and all you DJs, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to this Thursday, February 16th edition of the Yankees Morning Brew. That's right, February 16th edition. You know what that means? That means the best words that we can utter, we can hear, it's in full effect. Pitchers and catchers have reported to spring training. The Yankees are at spring training. Good morning, my fine, beautiful people. Let me do a couple shout outs for the chat. Tyler Tabbitt is in the building. Tyler, what it do? Uncle Tats from the Pinstripe Chronicles is in the building. How are you doing, gorgeous? Mikey Mazza in the 4 Train Express. Mazza, what it do? My guy 19 Con Man's in the building. Alan Landsman, he says, GM Hector, do you live in Dykeman Street? Yeah, I live in Dykeman on the upper Manhattan by Enwood Park over here, my man Alan Landsman. Alan, what it do? My guy Todd, aka TC Stills, is in the building. Todd, what it do, TC? Who else we got? It's Sunil, my man Suni. Sunil's in the building. Salute to everybody who's in the building. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I apologize for leaving you guys this past Tuesday. It was Valentine's Day, so I wanted to spend the day with my girl. But at the same time, I had a family emergency, so I really wasn't able to do anything that much. But I'm here with you guys today on this fine and beautiful Thursday. Before we continue, if you guys can, if you haven't, please subscribe to the new channel, The Morning Brew Sports. As you see, today's episode is streaming on both KOD Media and to the Morning Brew Sports. If you switch over to the Morning Brew Sports channel and to that live that's going on right now, I will be able to make you guys some mods, right? So we're going to start the brew crew out fine and dandy. Like I said, if you go into the other chat for the Morning Brew Sports, I'm able over there to make you guys moderators, right, for the channel. So if you guys can go over to the Morning Brew Sports channel, type in the chat right now, and I'll make you guys some moderators. I'm in the chat right now looking, and the first one I'm giving it to my man Tyler Tabbitt. Where's he at? Tyler, here you go, baby. Oh, it's not letting me do it. Well, that was a pump fake. One time. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. That's why. I got to go to the Morning Brew Sports. You feel me? So I'm going over to the Morning Brew Sports. If you guys can switch over to the Morning Brew Sports channel, like I said, if you guys can put something in the chat, I'll be able to make you a moderator. So right now, I'm going to do this. My man Mikey Mazza in the 4 Train Express, I just made you a moderator over there on the Morning Brew Sports channel. How you doing? Who else? L.I. Yankee King. Of course. I got to make my man L.I. Yankee King a moderator. You feel me? This is the Brew Crew. Who else we got in here? Oh, I got Jiggerman Porto. I'm going to make Jiggerman Porto a moderator. Jiggerman, how are you doing, baby? Michael Caputs is in the building. Caputi. How you doing, my guy? Who else we got in here? Who else going to be a moderator for the Brew Crew right now? Caputs, I'm going to make you a moderator also, Caputs. But be nice. Don't be kicking people out. Caputis. But yeah, good morning, Yankee fans. The Brew Crew is in effect. The Morning Brew crew is definitely in effect. Like I said, if you guys can, I'm going to put it in the chat one more time. If you aren't subbed to the new channel, make sure you guys sub to the Morning Brew Sports right now so we can have this conversation. Type in the chat so I can make you a moderator as well. If you are a moderator, please know it comes with a bit of power, right? So don't go out of your way to block someone. Don't go out of your way to ban someone for the chat. If you see someone in the chat that's being vulgar, that is violating TOS terms of services, you guys already know how I like to run my chat. So if you guys can, if anyone's acting a bit wild out there, hit them with the block, right? If I say, yo, block them, hit them with the block. But let's continue because we starting things up nice. Since it's spring training, yes, Caputis, we are doing a panel today. We're switching it up. We're coming in strong. Let's talk about the first topic right now. And of course, Frankie Montas. He is set to go under soldier surgery on Tuesday. Yankee fans, this has got to go down. That is the worst. I said the worst trade over the past 20 to 30 seasons when it comes to Brian Cashman as a GM. Frankie Montas, you shouldn't expect anyone. No one should expect anything from Frankie Montas this season. Absolutely nothing. I don't want to care about, he may come back in September. It's zip, zada. I'm not expecting anything from Frankie Montas, right? And I'm not sure how the Yankees could alleviate the situation. I'm not sure how the Yankees could try to make the situation even better. We had insurance when it came to Domingo Germán and Clark Smith. That insurance, you could throw that out the window right now because now we're going to have to use Domingo Germán and Clark Smith because it's not only Frankie Montas that's injured, right? You guys already know the news that came out early in the week, but also Nestor Cortez. He's out of the World Baseball Classic. I know there's a few people in the chat right now that are super excited about that, but he's out of the World Baseball Classic. You don't got to worry about Nestor Cortez pitching in the World Baseball Classic. I see we got a few new people in the chat. My man, NY News Ruben is in the building. Ruben, what it do, my guy? Who else? I seen Ivan Manny's in the building. Ivan Manny, what it do? The food and sports bloggers in the building. KOD, I tweeted at you guys at NY News yesterday that Montas was the worst signing behind Ellsbury and Pavano. Bro, we're going to get into it. And I appreciate you putting that in the chat. I saw your tweet on Twitter yesterday. I think I retweeted that as well. We're going to get into it because I got a list, right? I got a list for you guys of trades and free agent signings that Brian Cashman has made as the GM for the team when it comes to starting pitchers. So we're going to go through that and we're going to grade on the acquisitions that Brian Cashman has had. But before we continue, if you guys can, I'm going to post it in the chat again, and I apologize if I sound annoying, but I want to make sure everybody is able to follow us because we're going to be going dark here on the Knights of Dejan channel. We're moving everything over to the Morning Brew Sports. So Yankees Morning Brew, Knicks Morning Brew, all of that will be shifted over to the Morning Brew Sports. So make sure you guys sub to the channel. And on top of it, if you sub to the channel, if you type in the chat, I'm able to make you guys some moderators, right? Like I said, Caputi's a moderator. The 4-Train Express is a moderator. 19 Con Man's a moderator. My man 19 Con Man said we gave up 2 top 10 pitching prospects for Montas. Bro, that has to be the worst trade. Has to be the worst trade. I'm going to put up Frankie Montas again so we can have this conversation. My man Sunil, I appreciate you, baby. Appreciate you 100%. Uncle Tats, appreciate you as well. He said, Hector, the link in the bio is broken. Oh, okay. I got you right now. I'm bringing it up again. Hold on 1 second. Give me a second. Because, technology is crazy. But I'm going to put the link again for you, my brother. Perfect. So, yeah, like I said, subscribe to the new channel, the Morning Brew Sports. All of our content will be moving over to the Morning Brew Sports. Just so you guys know, it's not a bad thing, right? KOD Media, the Knights of DJ, is going to be a full sponsor for this channel, for the shows that we're putting out. So it's not only the Knicks Morning Brew, it's not only the Yankees Morning Brew, but we got a show coming to the channel that's going to cover the entirety of NBA with our guys Eddie and Smitty. I can't wait for that. And then on top of it as well, when it comes to content, Yankees content, baseball content, you guys know how I do, right? You guys see me on NYY News TV with my guy Pete Simonetti, working with Pete Simonetti, hosting a show with my bro Jigga Man Portal called Get Yanked. Appreciate everybody who subbed to the new channel. But on top of it, we're working with another baseball channel that's out there that you guys may know the name of. We're working with Grunts Baseball, right? My guy Jigga Man Portal and my little man Halal, my guy Halal, my bro. We got a show coming to you guys. So we want to tease it here first before we jump full into the conversation. Let's go.
What's up, peoples? Welcome to the Grunt Baseball channel. I'm your boy, Jigga Man Portal, and you know this is going to be a crazy show when you got Project Nerd HQ, Hector, the man himself, and you got our boy, Hilal. What's going on, guys? We got a show coming to Grunt Baseball. Super excited. How you feeling, Hilal?
I'm feeling unreal because this is just awesome. I have to say, when we started planning the show, we were throwing out days, and when Monday came up, I'm like, finally, after a long start to the week, Mondays are just the worst, finally getting to hang out with you guys. 6 p.m. Monday nights, right before the Yankee game, all the East Coast games. It's going to be unreal, talking for an hour. Come hang out with us. We are so excited. Hector, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm super excited, my guy. Just feeding off the energy that you have down there below in the box. That's right there. The O, the prom, the future. Get ready because we are coming at you the hard way, as they say. But my man Jigga Man, I know you got that look on your face, right? Because I know you're used to me in the morning saying, wake up and get your coffee. But hello, go and get your chicken nuggies, my guy. And tune in and strap in. We are going to have a good old time.
Wait, I know this is a channel trailer for our new show, but have we established who the old is, who the prime is? I mean, obviously, he's the future.
That's the future.
You're the old, and I'm the prime.
I'm the prime. I'm the prime. You're the old, and I'm the prime. You feel me? You feel me? Oh yeah, I cannot wait for that. And of course, he had to jump into the show. Jigga Man Porto, good morning, bro. Okay, you just did. You don't even say hi. Copy. Not even one word said by my man Jigga Man Porto. But yes, the full sports blogger Halal was on with Jason from 161 River Avenue recently. Yes, Jason is another fantastic Yankee content creator that's out there. I've had Jason on my channel multiple times. You could go into the description of this show right now, and you can find the interviews and shows that I had with Jason. So yeah, when it comes to Yankee content creators, I try to have a bit of everyone on. Next week, we're having on Joe from The Shift. So my guy Joe from The Shift will be back on February 21st. Already had one show with him, and now we're going to have 2 shows with him. I've worked also with Derek from NYY Recap. I've worked also with the guy from the Bronx Zoo. My guys from Cashing Out NYC as well. So you know, I don't close conversations. I try to open conversations with everyone. That's right, 19 Con Man, 161 River Mafia's in the building. That's a fact. Just like Mikey Mazza. I met Mikey Mazza over there being a part of the 161 River Avenue Mafia. That's why me and Mazza started teaming up and doing some work together. But the open panel will be happening later on today. So, guys, please stand around because the open panel is going to be a good conversation. Salute to my man Bones is in the building. Bones from the VSN Network. Bones, what it do, family? Hope all is well. Sunil said, Caputo, Eddie Murphy had the best take on the Sanchez trying to potentially return. Goonie Goo Goo. I couldn't say it better myself, Sunil. A Goonie Goo Goo. When it comes to Gary Sanchez, I know Yankee fans, you guys saw that video that popped up yesterday. I'm not sure if it was laundry day in Gary Sanchez's house, but Sanchez literally, he was working out in his old Yankees gear. He kind of looked good in shape. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna lie. He looked a lot better than what I thought he was going to be. But I'm not bringing Gary Sanchez back, bro. I'm closing that door. That door has closed when it comes to Gary Sanchez and the New York Yankees. There's no way the Yankees front office can bring Gary Sanchez back. There's just literally no way. Because when it comes to Gary Sanchez, there was an article that came out, and shout out to my bro Pete Simonetti, because All Rise yesterday, he showed the article yesterday. But there's an article that came out that literally happened December, right before the new year happened, how Gary Sanchez agent said that the best thing about 2022, the best thing about the end of the 2022 season is that finally Gary was able to shake off all the mental baggage the New York Yankees put on him. Now, as somebody like myself who struggles, with mental stuff when it comes to ADHD or whatever, depression and stuff like that, I hate that is used as a clutch when it comes to Gary Sanchez. I hate that's used as an excuse. Now, I'm not someone who can, who has the litmus test on who's actually suffering when it comes to mental stuff, right? But just to use that, if the Yankees wore you down that much, if the Yankees put all this mental baggage on you and it took you a whole season away from the team to get rid of it, to shake it off, why would we want you back? Why would we want you to return? If your biggest issue as a major league player was the Yankees put all this mental pressure on you, and then you took a whole season in Minnesota, and at the end of the season, you was finally able to shake it off, why would we want you back? Honestly, guys in the chat, let me know what you guys think about that. LI Yankee King, he's on fire when it comes to the when it comes to Brian Cashman acquisition. He's like, starters acquired during Baby Bomber era: Sonny Gray, Jaime Garcia, J.A. Happ, Lance Lynn, who pitched phenomenal with the White Sox, just not with us, James Paxton, Jameson Taillon, Andrew Heaney, and Frankie Montas. Just a bunch of bust. You ain't lying there, Ella. You definitely not lying, because when you look at these pitchers that you name, Sonny Gray, he's the second starter in Minnesota. That's not saying much, but he can only give you 5 to 6 innings. Jaime Garcia is out of baseball. J.A. Happ became like the worst Yankee pitcher of all time, according to us Yankee fans. Lance Lynn decided to come to the Yankees, but then the Yankees wanted to mess around with Lance Lynn and tell him not to throw his fastball and just to throw his curveball. But he goes to Chicago and becomes the pitcher he is right now just by throwing his fastball. Good job, Yankees. James Paxton, the big maple, who never turned into that number 2 star that we was hoping he was going to turn into. Jameson Taillon, he had a solid stint with the Yankees. He made every start, wasn't injured. So kudos to Jameson Taillon. But then Andrew Heaney, it's Andrew Heaney. What are we gonna say about Andrew Heaney? And then Frankie Montas. I think Michael K spent more time trying to pronounce Frankie Montas's name properly than Frankie Montas pitched games for the Yankees. And just throw that out there right now. I'm just throwing that out there. Casey Fun Time, he said, "What up, Hector?" Casey, what it do, my guy? Hey, yo, Casey, I'm not sure if you know, but we're moving all of the shows from this channel to another channel. It's called the Morning Brew Sports. So if you can, please sub to the new channel, the Morning Brew Sports. I think we just cracked over 100 subscribers onto the new channel. I'll tell you right now. How you doing? Right now, we are at 104 subscribers. So appreciate all the new subscribers as you guys can. Like I said, if you haven't subbed to the new channel, that way you could type in the chat and I can make you a moderator on the new channel. Appreciate you, Casey. Fun time. So we got some other stuff we want to talk about. Because, yes, we could be doom and gloom when it comes to the Frankie Montas situation. Don't worry. I haven't forgot you guys that asked me a question about the 5th starter. I'm going to save that question for the open panel. That way we can have some stuff to talk about. Right. But I understand. I don't want to be 100% doom and gloom. Right. When it comes to the starter, or when it comes to the injuries that just happened or we found out yesterday, because we got a bit of good news. Michael King, he's feeling healthy. He's feeling that he's ready for a big role this season. When it comes to Michael King, who LI Yankee King like to call the Corey Kluber of the Yankees, but when it comes to Michael King, he could either be a starter, he could either pitch out of the bullpen. I want Michael King to pitch out of the bullpen. Let him be that dominant setup man that he was last year. When it comes to Michael King, even as a starter, first 2 times through the lineup, Michael King, he's awesome. Spot on. I'm not going to say he's dominant, but he's above average when it comes to going through the lineup first 2 times. When he gets to the lineup the 3rd time around, he blows up. He blows up. Any Yankee fan that has seen Michael King pitch as a starting pitcher, you guys can agree with me. If you don't, I don't know what you're watching then, right? But King has to be in the bullpen. He has to be either the closer or the setup guy. I will honestly make him the setup guy. That way, have Clay Holmes be the closer and have Michael King as a fallback insurance option. Then you got Jonathan Loaisiga as well. So as long as Michael King can stay healthy, we all know what Michael King is, right? As all I want for Michael King is him to be healthy. That was a freak injury he had last year. His elbow blew up on him. He was dominant when he was out there for us. So hopefully we get 2022 version of Michael King besides the injuries, right? Li Yankee King. Let my man Michael King be Corey Kubler 2.0. Li just out of the bullpen, not in the starting rotation, right? Michael Capuzzi said, did you hear about the news about a possible Torres contract extension? I have not heard about that, Michael Caputo. Appreciate that. I'll save that for the open panel. Maybe that could be something we throw around in the open panel. King was their best pitcher last year until he got hurt. Absolutely, Casey. Absolutely. And the Yankees, I know a lot of people like to say that our second half injuries hurt us a lot, right? Giancarlo Stanton getting injured, DJ LeMahieu getting injured, Andrew Benintendi in September getting injured. But where the Yankees really fell off the cliff, the Yankees finished the season 50-51. That's how we finished the last 101 games of the season. Where the Yankees really fell off the cliff was at the beginning of that 101 game stretch was when Michael King got injured. That's really when the Yankees fell off the cliff. If you guys remember last year, the Yankees bullpen fell off the cliff when Michael King got injured because we had to rely more on Clay Holmes, putting Clay Holmes out there, which forced Clay Holmes to get injured. And that's what happens. It's like a rolling ball. One person gets injured and it just rolls down the hill to everyone else. Everybody is affected by this. Look at this right now. When it comes to Frankie Montas, right? Going into the season, every Yankee fan we talk about, this is the best rotation in baseball. We got Cole, we got Rodon, we got Sevy, we got Cortez, and we got Frankie Montas. That's the 5th. That was our strength. We thought our 1 through 5 starters were going to be it, the best rotation in baseball. But now that Montas is out, now we got to take from our depth. Now we got to either throw in Clark Smith or Domingo Germán. With Nestor Cortez and his hamstring injury, we're not sure how long that's going to sidetrack Nestor Cortez. So will Nestor Cortez be ready for opening day? Will he be ready to make his first start of the season? I'm not sure about that. The first week of the season, I'm not sure if Nestor Cortez will be ready to go 5 to 6 innings. So you're going to have to rely on Clark Smith as well. So when you have one injury that happens, it turns into a microcosm. It turns into a bowling ball rolling down a hill. My man, Uncle Tatsy said, that's why I give Wandy so much love. He stepped up when we needed it, when he was needed the most. Absolutely, 100%. I'm upset that the Yankees didn't sign Andrew Chafin, the lefty coming out of Detroit, who looks like a porn star from the 80s, mind you. But I'm upset the Yankees didn't sign Chafin because Wandy Peralta's our only lefty coming out the bullpen. I think that's just too much. I think that's too much to put on Wandy Peralta. Casey Funtime, no. With that injury, Nestor Cortez, he's out of the World Baseball Classic. It came out. If you go to Twitter, MLB, like the Twitter account for MLB, they handed it out and they said Nestor Cortez is out of the World Baseball Classic. And I think that's a smart decision. I think as soon as a player gets injured, take him out of the World Baseball Classic. This should not happen during spring training. Honestly, personally, I think the World Baseball Classic should happen in the wintertime, just like the Caribbean World Series happened. If you want to make it an extension of the Caribbean World Series, have the Caribbean World Series determine the seeds when it comes to the Puerto Rican team, the DR team, Cuba, the American team, and then have the World Baseball Classic. Having it before or having it during spring training, I think that may just be a bad look. I'm not sure. I'm honestly, as someone who is Boricua, who is a proud Boricua, I'm not sure if it's worth losing a player for the rest of the season if they get injured during the World Baseball Classic. When you look at Frankie Montas, we all knew Frankie Montas, he had a bad shoulder. After last season, we all knew Frankie Montas had a horrible shoulder. Why did they wait till February to have the surgery? Why not have the surgery in October? Like, does that make sense? It makes no sense. If Frankie Montas is injured, right? If Frankie Montas, he has a shoulder injury, if he was sidelined basically in the entire month of September with that shoulder injury, why are we waiting until spring training to have the surgery? Now, I understand some people, they want to try to milk it, try to rest it, do whatever you can, but it's a shoulder injury. It's not a hamstring. It's not a lat injury. It is a shoulder injury, which means that there's something in there that's messed up. Either you need to go in there, right? You need to either smooth the bowl down, whatever you have to do. You have to clean it out, whatever you have to do. That's not going to happen naturally. You need to go under the knife for that. So I'm not sure who handled this situation, whether it was the Yankees medical staff, whether it was Frankie Montas, his agent, and his personal medical staff, but whoever handled this situation did a horrible job. This surgery should have happened at the end of last season, not the first week of spring training. No way whatsoever. My man Steve Schumann's in the building. Stevie Pie, how you doing? Hey, yo, Steve, just so you know, Steve, I'm putting my email in here for you, Steve. Gmail.com. Steve, shoot me an email, right? That way we could figure out the technical issue that's going on for you to jump on an open panel. So, Steve, I just put my email in there for you. If you can, Steve, shoot me an email and we'll try to figure out the technical issues that's going on, because I want to get you on the open panel, Steve. Your knowledge for baseball is just so it's everyone needs to see that, honestly, Steve. So if you can, email me so we can figure that out, because I got to get my guy Steve Schumann here on the open panel. And talking about the open panel, we're going to put that out there in a few. But before we do that, if you can, Steve, as well, make sure you subscribe to the new channel. All of our content from Nights of DJ when it comes to the Yankees Morning Brew, Knicks Morning Brew, will be moving over to the Morning Brew Sports. We are getting a full sponsorship from KOD Media to start our own channel. That way we can have our own shows, spin-off shows of the Yankees Morning Brew and the Knicks Morning Brew. We got the Eddie and Smitty show, which will be coming as well. We got our partnership with Grunt Baseball, which is coming as well. You'll be able to see Grunt Baseball do baseball breakdowns every week. You guys will be able to vote on who's the worst player in Major League Baseball, and that's the breakdown my man Grunt's Baseball would do for the channel. But if you guys can, sub to the new channel so you can keep following us. Type in the chat so I can make you guys moderators as well. Let's see. I got another one here. And this is something I want to throw out there before we get to the open panel. It's non-Yankee related, but Brian Reynolds was in the Pirates spring training yesterday. He showed up early to work out with his teammates. So credit to Brian Reynolds. But Brian Reynolds said when asked about the request, the trade request, does it still stand? Reynolds says nothing's really has changed. So from Brian Reynolds' point of view, when it comes to him wanting to get traded from his camp, nothing's really changed, right? He talked about how the Pirates didn't value him the way that he values himself, the way that his agent values himself. So when it comes to Brian Reynolds, the possibility of Brian Reynolds being traded during the season, it's still alive. The Yankees may start the season with Estevan Florial in left field, or Aaron Hicks in left field, or Rafael Ortega, or whoever else could be in left field. But there's still a possibility the Yankees could trade for Brian Reynolds if the asking price falls down. Because for some reason, before last season, right, last offseason, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Seattle Mariners wanted to trade for Brian Reynolds. The Pittsburgh Pirates wanted Julio Rodriguez back in return. So the Pittsburgh Pirates, they got to get drug tested because they're smoking on a little bit too much, because the asking price that you're asking in a return for Brian Reynolds far outweighs and far outseed what you value him when it comes to the dollar figure, right? If you want the return of a Julio Rodriguez back for Brian Reynolds, which Julio Rodriguez is on a different echelon as a baseball player than Brian Reynolds, it's not even close. But if you want that kind of return, you got to be willing to pay Brian Reynolds the money that he seeks, what he's valued as. You can't say, oh, we value him as a top player and we want a top return for him. But when it comes to paying him, you don't value him the same way. So I'm going to leave that right there, right? I'm going to throw the link for the open panel into the chat. Hold on one second. Right? So I'm going to put the link for the open panel into the chat. Like always, guys, when it comes to the open panel, we got to follow the terms and services that YouTube, that Twitch, that Twitter has, right? So when it comes to the open panel, be respectful to everyone that's on the open panel, right? If somebody's giving their take, allow them to finish before you jump in and give your take, because I'm going to make sure that everyone has the same amount of time to give what they want to say when we're talking about the team. And as well, be respectful. We got to keep it PG-13 like this Nickelodeon, my peoples. But let's jump right into the conversation. Before we do, I got to bring my man TC Stills into the building. TC Stills, Todd, what did it do, baby?
What up? Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, baby. I'm good. I know you're on the West Coast, so it's good morning for you, bro. Good morning.
Yeah, early morning.
That's right. Early bird gets the worm. I'm gonna bring in my man Li Yankee King in the building. Li, what it do, baby?
What's up?
Chilling, baby, chilling. Li, you watched AEW last night? I was able to catch just the end of it. I ain't watched the whole show.
No, I didn't. I have no cable.
Oh, okay. Capooties. I'm gonna bring in my man Michael Capoots in the building. Capooties, what it do, baby?
He don't.
All right. Now, but I got one more person I got to bring in, right? Drum roll, because he hasn't been on in a while, right? But I got to bring in Uncle Tats. Uncle Tats, good morning, gorgeous. How are you doing?
What's going on, everybody? How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing good, Tats. How you feeling, baby? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing. You know what? Life is just back on track now, so it's all good.
Nice. Glad to see you, and glad you're doing well. It's you know the weather's good, right? When Uncle Tats got the beautiful sun right in his face, you know the weather's good when Uncle Tats got that nice sun right in his face, Tats. But I'm glad that you're doing good. Glad that you was able to take some time to jump on an open panel with us this morning, Tats. But before we jump into the full conversation, I'm gonna throw it to Uncle Tats first before we make our way around, since Tats haven't been here for a while. Spring training is here, Uncle Tats. Give me what you're excited about and give me what you're not excited about so far, even though it's just the first day. Go ahead, Tats.
So I'm going to start with what I'm not excited about. I'm not excited about seeing all these new rules implemented, because it's just been a thorn in my side. I'm old, so there's dirt that's younger than me. So I'm just not looking forward to seeing a lot of the new rules that are being implemented, because I just don't want the game changed to that degree. What I'm excited about is seeing the progression through the offseason of where we're going to see Volpe, Peraza, Cabrera. I want to see where they are at this time in their career. I want to see them step up a lot, because I think we need a big youth infusion.
Okay. I got one more person backstage. I'm gonna bring up Ivan Manny. Good morning, Ivan. I see you got your Yankee jersey ready to go, Ivan. I see you got it. You ready to go?
I'm
Ivan,
living, man.
Same question going your way, and I'm gonna throw it over to TC and then Li. When it comes to spring training, right? I get it. First day was yesterday. Pitchers and catcher, February 15th. What are you excited for, and what are you not excited for so far in this early part of spring training?
Well, I'm going to go the opposite. I got to agree with Pinstripe Chronicles, man. These rule changes are terrible. Take that ghost runner and ghost it. Get it out of here. Yeah. It's so bad. It's going to ruin a game in a lot of ways. I really don't like it. I mean, it's the bases being 6 foot by 6 foot are bad enough. That might help a little bit of offense, I guess. But if they want to do this ghost runner thing, they got to put it in like the 13th inning. Give these guys a chance to actually play real baseball. Don't change the rules. It's just too much. And I certainly don't want to see it in the playoffs. Please don't do it.
Yeah. And I get it. A lot of these rule changes is to speed up the games, but you guys are all baseball fans, right? I know all 5 of you guys. You guys love watching a 3 to 3.5 hour game. If the game starts at 7, I don't care if it finishes after 10 o'clock or if it finishes at 10 o'clock. I really don't care because me personally, it's a whole event, right?
I plan my day around.
When we're watching it at nighttime, we got the popcorn. There's nothing to watch on TV. Come on, what are we doing? Trying to short it from 3.5 to 2.5. But I personally don't agree on it. Anything else you want to add on, Ivan, before I throw it over to TC?
I also really don't want to see that realignment that they're talking about. I don't, with these moving the Mets and Boston and the Yankees in the same division.
Yeah,
no.
I was going to save that for the end. Yeah.
I don't want to see that at all. What I am excited for, I want to see bombs in the stadium again. I want that energy, man. There's nothing like the energy in the stadium when they're going hot and they're going good, man. I'm looking forward to that. It's been a long winter. So
no, definitely. And I'm gonna be at a bunch of games this season. But TC Stills, same question going your way, and I'm gonna throw it over to Caputi and LI. When it comes to spring training so far, what are you excited for and what are you not excited for?
Well, I'm excited to see the young kids. I want to see what happens at in the left field position. Actually, I want to see if one of these guys like Ortega or Calhoun can, do something, show what they got. And this might be the last chance for Florial to to show up and see if he can make the team.
That's Li's favorite Yankee.
Yeah, excited to see Volpe, even though I don't think he's gonna make the team out of spring training, but just all the young guys, all the non-roster invitees. I love to see somebody just come up out of that and burst on the scene and just have a breakout. But like we were saying the other time on the show, it doesn't matter what these guys do. The Yankees don't end up keeping them and they send them back down, and it's a shame. But I'm not looking forward to these rule changes. I don't care for that.
Yeah, it's and I've been checking around Twitter and stuff, and it seems like not even just Yankee fans, but just MLB fans in general. It's like a 50-50 when it comes to these rule changes. The offensive side of things, offense is going to jump up this year, right? So regardless of who your pitching staff was last year, offense is going to take over the game this season. And you may get some pitchers that wind up getting injured, right? And I'll throw it over Caputo right after what I'm about to say, because the days of Aroldis Chapman throwing 100 miles per hour and then walking around the mound for like 30 seconds to regroup himself, those days are over. You're not going to have pitchers being able to throw 100, 101, 102 miles per hour and then take 30 to 45 seconds to recatch themselves when it comes to their max effort. Those days are over. You have 20 seconds to pitch the ball, get it back, and then throw it. You don't have that much time like you did last year, right? So the Aroldis Chapmans, right? The Randy Johnsons of the world, right? The old school pitchers that used to just take their time on the mound, those days is just behind us. But Caputs, same question going your way before I throw it over to LI. When it comes to spring training, Caputis, what are you excited for and what are you not excited for? And before you go, shout out my man, Dr. DiCatrio in the building. DiCatrio, what it do? He's an Astro fan, but he loves us Yankee fans. Go ahead, Caputs.
Yeah, so I don't like the rule changes either. I think they should just keep, we should go back to the old school, baseball ways. I don't like that. And I hate the ghost runner thing. I don't understand. They took it away and they brought it back 3 times. What was the whole point of that? They said they were banning it, and then bringing it back, and then getting rid of it. Makes no sense. But what am I excited about this season? Well, I was excited about that rotation, but now everyone's getting injured. It's like the season's old before it started already. I mean, we're losing all these guys. Montas, I really don't care about because he's the 5th starter, so I could live with him being out for the rest of the season. But now Cortez with the hamstring injury, is this guy even going to be back for opening day? I mean, it's a grade 2. It's supposed to be like a bad hamstring injury. So he better be back for opening day, because then we're going to be down 2 starters, and then you're going to have Herman and Clark Schmidt is the number 4 and 5 starters, or number 3 or 4, whatever it is. I mean, I'm not really happy about that. I mean, this was supposed to be the strength of the team. This is like the rotation is supposed to be the strength of this team, and now the whole entire rotation is going to be injured. It's just no rhyme or reason with this team. All they do is get injuries every single year, and I'm just about sick of this. I mean, they got a whole new medical training staff, and they still get injured. It's just the players there. Nobody stays healthy on this team. You know what I say? Remember in the 90s when everybody stayed healthy? I hate to say that, but when there was steroids, these guys actually stayed healthy and they actually played. And now we're at the steroids, they can't stay healthy. They can't. None of these guys play. I mean, they don't stay on the field. I hate to say it. I'm not for steroids, but McGuire, Sosa, Barry Bonds, those guys all took steroids. They stayed healthy every year. They never got injured. So maybe bringing steroids back. Hate to say it, I'm not for it, but maybe they should take steroids again. I mean, at least they stayed healthy.
My man Caputo with the pro PED agenda. I see you, Caputo. That's my guy, Caputo.
I'm just saying.
But you're right, Caputo, and that the rule changes may lead to pitchers getting injured, right? Because like I said, you're not going to be able to take your time walking after a pitch around the mound to re-grab yourself or to get your energy back or to grab your breath. So if you lose velocity because of that, pitchers, they're going to try to make it up with their arm strength. Right. And when that happens, if you try to if one part of your game is messed up, but you try to compensate it in another part, that leads to elbow injuries, shoulder injuries, and every other type of injury when it comes to the starting pitchers. Right. But Eli, I'm going to throw it the same question your way. When it comes to spring training, what are you excited for besides Estevan Florio? And what are you not excited for besides Aaron Hicks? Go ahead, Eli.
What I'm not excited for is to hear Brian Cashman speak some bull crap. Aaron Boone's nimrodded press conferences that sound like he couldn't run a target properly if he was a store manager. I don't know if I can agree with everybody else with the rule changes because I need to see them in action. The ghost runner doesn't really bother me. It's the 10th inning. Meh. If it was the 9th inning, then I'd be pissed. If it's in the 10th, then meh. I don't want no extra inning games because then that ruins teams. Bullpens, especially with us, where we have an elder state bullpen where not many people are under the age of 30 in this bullpen. So that might get a risk of injury. What I am excited for is to see my man Gleyber Torres shut up all these Yankee fans that said, "Oh, trade him. He doesn't hustle. Trade him." Who cares if he doesn't sprint to first base like Brandon Nimmo? If it's tough, if it's the third base, obviously no one's gonna run. They're out regardless. We got Gunnar Henderson over there. If it's hit to Rafael Devers, take your chance. Anybody else in this division, their left side of the infield, you're jogging. You know you're out. Look at every left side of the infield in baseball. It is good defensively. They're jogging the first base because they know they're out. What they gonna do sprinting? Get hurt?
Yeah.
See what Harper did when he sprinted to first base? He tumbled over, hurt his knee, broke his leg.
I get what you're saying, Eli. But for me personally, when it comes to Gleyber Torres, the whole lazy factor for me, I'm not going to label Gleyber Torres as someone that's lazy. I know a lot of Yankee fans, they do label Gleyber Torres as lazy. It's a 50-50 thing with me. Do I want to see him busted down the box? Absolutely. I definitely do. But at the same time, I know Gleyber Torres is not fast. So him jogging down the first base, that may be him running fast as possible because he's slow, right? It's sad to say it because a man who's 26 years old, Tats, he runs like an old lady on Orchard Beach with Timberlands on, honestly, because he's not that fast.
No.
Go look at Mahomes. He's the same age. He runs like an 80-year-old.
Well, Patrick Mahomes had an ankle injury, but he still won the Super Bowl. But besides football, because we're going to spin out of control if we go that way. But no, I agree with you. When it comes to the rule changes, the biggest rule change that I think is going to take some time for pitchers to get adjusted with, and I'll throw it over to TC. Hold on, wait. Before I do that, I think I got DiCaprio backstage. All right, I'm going to bring my man DiCaprio in for a second just to talk about the rule change. DiCaprio, you there, baby?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
All right.
DiCaprio is coming in from his Jesus stream. No picture, no video, just the Jesus voice. DiCaprio, let us know how you feel.
All right, so this is my question, guys. So I heard y'all talking about, the rules. And by the way, I loved the thing about the bigger bases. Like, I feel like guys are really going to have to kind of retrain themselves, like running down the base pads, because, it's different stride lengths and stuff. But my thing is, if Major League Baseball is trying to cut down on the time of the games, right? The pitch clock, great idea. So if we're taking away the shift, ghost runners, bigger bases, how exactly are we cutting down on the time of the game? Because technically, all that does is lead to more offense, correct? Which leads to more pitches, more pitches being used, more runs, more time. So I'm not quite sure how they thought this would speed up the pace of play in the actual game.
That's a great point to
catch. I do have a response to that.
Go ahead,
Tats.
I
think it's more they're trying to hide the fact that they want to increase the offense, because a lot of major league sports, whether it's football, basketball, it's all about the offense. Is where a lot of the rule changes are made for, and baseball is trying to mask it into this whole thing with the time schedule, saying that this is why we're going to do all this. But people are in the seats to see the home run. They want to see runs being scored for the home team. So I think that's where a lot of that's why they're in such a rush to make these changes this year. Even though they've been discussed over the last few years, they blindsided us with a bunch of them this year.
Oh yeah,
I think that's where it's really coming down to, is the fact that they want to increase the offense, because when we had the steroid era, like Caputo mentioned earlier, that's where a lot of fans came back from the strike era, because there was this big home run chase. So now, to gain more fans, they want to increase the offense yet again, and this is the cost of it. I just think it's the wrong approach to do that.
Agree.
Yeah,
Ivan, I'm sorry, the catcher. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, no, those are all valid points. It's just very odd that they're doing all this to speak. Like, I get it. I just feel like all year, all we're gonna see now is time comparisons of a 9-inning game this upcoming season to the last couple of years, and they're just gonna constantly keep trying to change things. Before long, they're gonna tell people that all batters are gonna start with a 1-1 count.
Don't give them any ideas.
God, Jesus. Yeah, don't give them any ideas, DiCaprio. But Ivan,
the Astros, maybe the Yankees get less owned.
What's up?
What you said, Ally?
Maybe we can start that with the Yankees Astros, so the Yankees can get less owned.
Hey, I mean, honestly, you could start at 2-1. I'm okay with that too. Like, let's.
Sorry, I had to throw that in. I had to throw that jab in.
Nah, it's cool.
Let's have some fun.
Nah. But Ivan, I'm gonna throw it to you, and then throw it over to TC and then Capoots. When it comes to what DiCaprio just said about the rule changes and stuff, what's your take on that? Because honestly, DiCaprio, you hit it right on the head. I love that take. When it comes to it's not really going to cut down time. It's actually going to make the game actually longer. What's your take on that, Ivan?
I'm excited to see several of the changes, like the shift being gone, because that was just ridiculous having 10 guys on the one side of the field. I'm hoping that the bigger bases bring in more hit and run, because hit and run was a big deal, especially early 90s and prior. You don't see that stuff anymore. The hit and run was like a planned thing, but guys have to be able to hit to be able to make that happen. The pitch count thing, I do agree. Rushing people is a bad thing. I mean, I don't want a pitcher to stand around for 2 minutes in between pitches. 30 seconds though, that's they're just trying to artificially change the game, and that's why I think a lot of the old school heads don't enjoy all these silly rule changes, because they're trying to just change the game in such a dramatic way to fit TV schedules. I'm sorry. They figure that the game's too long, and that's why fans aren't into it. No, that's not the case. You're either into the drama of every pitch and enjoying the game, or you're not, and that's the problem. What made football brought so many fans to football is when they brought in fantasy football. It doesn't work the same in baseball, because it's an every single day thing. And that's what brought in the casual fan to the NFL. And because so many people came in, they changed the rules of not being able to touch a quarterback, not being able to touch a kicker, jamming people, and so forth and so on. And it made it a more throwing offense instead of ball control and defense. Nowadays with baseball, I agree that they have to do something, but rushing the guys with a pitch count is ridiculous. Especially 30 seconds. If you want to give them a minute between, cool. But or 45 seconds, cool. But 30 seconds, it's like pitch. Okay, get the ball. Yeah. Pitch again. Get the ball. Pitch. That's not going to speed up the game. I mean, it's just going to get guys hurt, and I'm not for that in any way. So
yeah, and I think it's even less than 30 seconds if I'm not mistaken to catch you. It's like 20 seconds, right? Or is it 30 seconds to catch you?
I thought it was 20 seconds.
Yeah, I thought it was 20
I might
seconds.
be wrong. So this is my thought process also. Major League Baseball wants to make the game more exciting, but being down here around Texas, Arlington's got this nice new stadium. And I tell you what, the fan experience at an actual baseball game, if you're a casual baseball fan, is not enjoyable. And I think that's another thing that they really need to look at these owners and talk to them about, because, these fan experiences at these stadiums, the games are just so boring in between innings and between pitches. I don't know what it is that they can do to bring more energy to certain stadiums. I've never sat in Yankee Stadium and watched a game, but it's a lot of these stadiums around the country, it's just so boring there, there's no interactivity at the stadiums on the field, and so I don't know. I think that's another big piece of it too, is figuring out how to get fans more involved and more amped to watch baseball, because at this point in time, I say it all the time, baseball is slowly dying because we can't get younger fans to pay attention to the game.
Yep. Yeah, good point. TC, what's your take on what DiCaprio just said, and then pass it over to Caputs and Li?
Yeah, I agree with the it's hard to get the younger fans because baseball is slow, and football and basketball, there's always action going on, constantly. So for the fan to the average fan, like the new fan, trying to get interested in it. I know there's the old school fans they're diehard. They're always going to be there, and I like the fact that they're trying to do stuff with the bases and the pitch clock, and maybe go back to old school baseball, a hit and run and stealing and managing the game rather than letting analytics run it, and just swinging for the fence. It's home run or strikeout. Now with the shift gone, maybe there's going to be, a lot more, offense or at least strategy, in the game. When it was in the 80s and 90s, the managers actually manage the game. Boone just sits there and, okay. He looks like he does nothing. It's just a strikeout, nothing. There's no hit and run. There's no bunting. There's nothing. No delayed steal, slash hitting. There's nothing. It's just a strikeout or nothing. We can call. Oh, here comes a double play because they didn't bunt. It's easy to call the Yankees. We know what's going to happen because they we want something. Let's get the wheels moving. Let's do something here.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Agree. But Caputo, what's your take on it when it comes to these rule changes? Just like the 2 points that the catcher brought up, which were great points. What's your take on it before hockey surpasses MLB when it comes to as popularity, Caputo? But what's your take, Caputo?
Yeah, I think the best thing that happened was banning the shift. All these the big bases, the pitch clock. Yeah, I agree. I hate it, and I think a big reason for this is the younger fans today. Basically, this is why they're changing all these rules and they're making all these bogus new rules now because of the new fans, and they don't want to watch this. They don't like the old school baseball, so they have to speed it up. And I agree with everything. I don't like these rules. You're ruining the game, and this is why people are so bored of baseball now, and they don't want to watch it anymore. And sooner or later, it is going to be probably ranked fourth in probably the most boring sport now because everyone is starting to lose interest now because Rob Manfred is changing all these rules. That guy's the worst. I wish he would just get fired. He's the worst commissioner ever. I mean, this is why. I mean, so now you wonder why people are losing interest. And the game that used to be, I think, the best sport at one point it was. Now it's becoming like a laughing stock now. So, and another thing I wanted to tell you, I forgot to tell you before. You asked me what am I not looking forward to and excited about this lineup. The lineup is
Anthony Medina's in the chat. Anthony, what it do? What it do? He said, "What up, Hector? Sorry I'm late. Very busy with work." Listen, Medina, as long as you show up, brother, that's all that matters. It's better late than never, right? But no, I'm gonna throw it over to Li. But I agree with everything, right? Because I'm gonna put this out there, right? Because some of us we grew up in New York City, right? TC, Texas as well, outside of the city. When it comes to outreach, right? MLB has to do a better job when it comes to getting younger fans involved, right? It's easy as a young kid to grab 2 or 3 of your friends and go to the public park and play a basketball game because the public parks are there and the basketball courts, they're set up right there. There's not that many baseball fields, or there's not that many public parks that have a pseudo baseball field in it as well. You have to do a better job as making the game easy for young kids to play it, right? We can play it in front of our buildings. We could play it in the streets. It's not the safest place for us to play it, right? So if Major League Baseball did an outreach program with every state, with every city, to put public parks or put spaces where kids can play baseball, that would be an easy step. That would be the first step. Right now, it's very hard to have a bunch of kids go out there and actually play a game of baseball because there's not that many baseball fields inside of the city. If you go outside of the city, yeah, definitely is. But inside the city, there's not that many. Like I live down the block from Enwood Park. That's been the only park that I live close to that had a baseball field. Besides that, I had to bike ride to Prospect Park, or I had to bike ride to Riverside, or I had to bike ride to Pelham Parkway. Besides that, we never had none of this, right? So Major League Baseball, they need to do a better job when it comes to outreach for the young kids. But Li, I'm gonna throw it your way as well when it comes to this question about the outreach program, like the Catrio brought up. When it comes to these rule changes, they're most likely going to be implemented for the offensive side of things, right? But what's your take on that real quick before we continue, Li?
But the outreach program, they need to make sure that they have money set for people who are struggling with money costs, because baseball stuff is expensive. They need to make sure that every outreach program has a set amount of money to spend on bats, gloves, batting gloves, cleats, every single baseball necessity that is needed outside of a uniform. So people are like, hey, I can go to this place, I can go to this park, I can go to this park, this park, and this park. They have bats and gloves and everything I need for baseball set up for me there. And then I can go, when they're closed, I can go to these other public parks and practice.
Yeah.
But
hold on, 19 comment in the building. He said, grab some tape and a sponge ball, play some box. Listen, I used to play that growing up.
Nope.
What in the middle of the street, bro? But like I said, it's not the safest place to play. Stick ball in the middle of the street off of Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn. That's not the safest place. That's not the safest place to play. But no, 100%. That's I remember going to the bodega almost every day with my $5 to get my 5 sponge balls so I can go to the park and just hit some balls over the handball court. That was the home run derby for us growing up. If you could hit the sponge ball over the handball court wall, you was Barry Bonds growing up, right, Tats?
No, it's really true, because it used to either get the sponge balls or the wiffle ball set where you had to bat the ball, and then they would break and you would go and you'd all scavenge your allowance together to get the next wiffle ball.
Put some duct tape on it.
You would go to the schoolyard and you would either hit the ball off the school building or the handball court. But that's it, you didn't need a lot of money to do that. But I think now, to Li's point, it's a lot cheaper to go and buy a football or a basketball than to go and get a bat, ball, and a glove.
And even a hockey puck and a hockey stick.
No, yeah, even a hockey puck and a hockey stick. That's cheaper than a baseball bat, than an aluminum bat. A decent one probably costs you like $80. A decent one, right? The most expensive ones, they got some for $500, $600, but a decent aluminum bat is like $80, right? So you put that in. a glove is like what, 40 to 50 bucks. You put that in as well, and easy. So off of that too, right there, that's $130 you in the hole.
Yeah.
But you can go to Modell's, get yourself a hockey stick for about 40 bucks, and then a puck for $10. Boom, that's $50 spent. So it is a lot easier and cheaper to go just buy a basketball or go just buy a baseball instead of buying, go buy a football instead of buying the equipment that you need to play baseball.
And you don't even have to buy a hockey net. You could literally just make something at your house into a hockey
We used
net.
to lay the garbage pails down on its side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Hold on. I think my man Steve put in, he said baseball attendance is at an all-time high, isn't it? Before he just check. Attendance took a hit with COVID and its aftermath. Let's see what the numbers look like this season. But the thing is, before COVID, right, baseball was at an all-time high when it came to attendance. He's absolutely right when it comes to that alone, right? But what happened is our generation, like the kids that I grew up with, we became adults and we had the money to spend to go to games that we didn't as a kid. That's what happened. But what's happening right now is that the kids that are coming underneath, behind myself and Li, they don't have the interest for the game like Li, myself, and Caputo did when we were that age, right? When I was 11, 12, 13 years old, I was playing every baseball game, every MVP baseball that came out, every MLB 2K that came out that had Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter was like on every MLB 2K cover for about like 6 years in a row before anything else. So I was into that. Kids nowadays, I don't think they're into it anymore, especially when baseball is so slow, right? You have all these smartphones that are just ADHD in the hell out of all of these kids, especially myself as a young kid. No, but seriously, you know, they have so much other things to do instead of sitting around for 3 hours watching a baseball game that may be slow and boring. It's not the same attention span that people had 20 years ago.
Oh, no,
yeah, I definitely agree about that. The society in this country has changed so dramatically because of the options. Every kid has a smartphone. Everybody's addicted to video games, streaming shows, and everything else. And then you get into other countries where Major League Baseball has done a really good job at moving the game into all these other smaller markets, trying to find talent and create interest. I mean, half these guys are using cardboard for gloves. It's not about equipment. It's about options. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the reality is that sadly, Americans are spoiled in a lot of ways, and baseball is a failing sport. If you get 30% of the time you get a hit, you're an a Hall of Famer because it's a hard game and people don't like to fail.
Yeah, it's a game of failure.
Well, I agree. I see what you're saying, but I also put that on Major League Baseball because let's be honest, what is cheaper for Major League Baseball and for all these organizations? If they go into the Dominican Republic, sign a 16-year-old kid to $14,000, or hear me out, wait for a kid, an amateur kid coming out of college with 2 years experience coming out of college and having to pay them $600,000 as a signing bonus. What's cheaper for these major league teams? Going to the Dominican Republic and signing that kid for the $40,000, $60,000, or $100,000 instead of the college player who's an amateur for $600,000. It's a hell of a lot cheaper to take advantage of kids that come from third-rate countries when they don't have that many options in those countries, right? So when it comes to Major League Baseball, it's a business at the end of the day, right? And the number one driving goal in business is profit. So if I could spend less in DR than I can coming out of the American state schools that have 2 years of college amateur level under your belt, I'm going to go with the cheaper route. And that's why they invest so much more in the Dominican Republic, in Venezuela. Why do you think you got all these kids coming out of Venezuela? It's a lot easier for them to go into Venezuela to put a major league camp and try to get kids that are trying to make their way out. Here in the US, like you said, Ivan, there's just so many different avenues a kid can go. If I'm a young kid that's coming up and I'm a 3-star athlete and I'm a top athlete in all 3 sports, NBA, NFL, or MLB, I'm most likely going to take my chances with the NBA, then maybe the NFL before I even look at the MLB. Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals, he got drafted by the Oakland Athletics, the 7th pick in that draft. He turned that away and was like, you know what? I'm going to be the number 1 overall pick and get my money faster in the NFL than it would for me to get my money when it comes to the Major League Baseball.
But
right?
those sports those sports also take you right out of college. They don't make you sit in the minors for 5 years or 6 years where you might not make your money.
You get your money faster coming out of NFL. I mean, coming into the NFL, NBA, you get your money 100 times faster than you do with Major League Baseball. I
But
agree.
the careers are shorter.
Play way less games too.
You play way less games. Your careers are shorter. Major League Baseball, if you're that talented, if you're able to reach that peak and get that money, you're gonna have it for about a lot longer than the NFL, than the NBA. But it's a bit harder to get to that peak when it comes to Major League Baseball, in just my opinion. But TC, I'm gonna throw it your way and then to Tats as well to keep this conversation going before we close it out. But what's your thoughts on that, real quick, TC?
On getting players from the Dominican or
no, just in general when it comes to like what Major League Baseball has to do to like get more young kids coming out of this, you know.
Well, one thing is maybe have these players more accessible. You know, maybe do a campaign where they're out. You know, we'll sign autographs, or some of these guys, they just shine kids off. You know, like I've been to many games when I was little. They act like jerks. You know, a lot of them. You know, they don't remember where they came from. You know, I mean. Baseball, you see these players, you recognize them. Football, they have helmets on and stuff, but these guys are recognizable everywhere. They should have, there should be more of a campaign to, get the young kids into it. Be more attentive to the younger fan. As far as other things go, I mean, they're trying to do different things with these rules to get people more interested. Maybe more interactive with the phones. Maybe have some sort of app or something on the phone that goes with the game. Maybe you can like try to call pitches or what's your lineup, who's your pick to have a great game. When they get in the stadium, maybe have some sort of something like that. They go on their app and they and they get to interact with the game somehow. That's what these kids are doing. It's all about phones, and also maybe lessen the prices of everything. These things are
That
so
as well.
expensive.
That as well.
The
that
tickets,
as well.
the parking, the hot dogs, the popcorn. It's ridiculous. You can't go to a game for family of four. What are you gonna pay $500-$600 just to go to a ball game?
Easy.
Minimum.
I mean,
Easy, bro. Minimum.
It's a joke. They got, and it's you get 81 home games. That's a lot of games. That they're football. It's you get 8-9 home games a year. So it's a less on your pocketbook.
No, 100%. I'm not sure, if you guys are familiar with the comedian Artie Lang, but Artie Lang, he has his problems when it comes to drugs. Just to wish him the best, don't want to wish downfall on anybody like that. But Artie Lang, he had a great point when it came to Major League Baseball, and what TC brought up when it came to the outrageous prices. Like if you're a construction worker, right? That you bust your behind 5 days out the week, you make about $30 an hour, $35-$40 an hour. For you to drive down from Yonkers or Long Island to the city, to the Bronx, to park up, automatically paying $40-$50 when it comes to parking, right? Then you look at the tickets, right? The cheapest tickets that you could get at Yankee Stadium, if you don't secure like the bleacher creature tickets, the cheapest tickets is probably $40 a piece, $50 a piece or whatever. So you think about that. Family of 5, like TC still said, or a family of 4. So two kids is $100. Mother and father is $100. So that's $200 plus a $50 parking. You're in the hole for $250 automatically. One thing of popcorn costs about $15. A soda costs about $12, right? So you say a soda times 2 just so you can share it. That's $24. Right there, I'm over $300. Right, so you need to have bare minimum at least $300 if you're a family of 4 to be able to enjoy yourself at Yankee Stadium. That's not merchandise, right? That's not hats. That's not T-shirts. That's nothing. That's just the bare minimum: parking, entrance, a soda to share between 4 people, and a popcorn. That's ridiculous. That's literally chicken tendies should not cost you $22 at a game. Like, I don't care how good the chicken tendies are. It shouldn't cost you $22 at a game, Tats. I just don't care. But Eli, I'm gonna throw it over to you right now. When it comes to the situation that we're talking about right now, what's your take on it when it comes to Major League Baseball, how they could do better when it comes to the outreach?
Obviously, probably drop the prices of game tickets when you're already $250 in the hole of just ticket, getting to your seat, and then saying, oh, wait, I need food. And then before you even get, because what me and my aunt and my father do is we go out to eat before the game so we don't have to eat during the game. So that's already 30, 40, 50 bucks right there that we have to spend extra on top of it. And knowing how I drink soda like water, I'm already down probably like $150 because a soda at the stadium costs $27.95.
A lot. What kind of soda you like? What kind of are you a Pepsi guy? Are you a Coke guy? What kind of soda
Pepsi
you
and
like?
Dr. Pepper.
Pepsi and Dr. Pepper. My man, I've never heard the Pepsi and Dr. Pepper together. I've heard the Coke and Dr. Pepper, but never the Pepsi and Dr. You're a weird man. You're a weird one, Eli. That's why I love you, bro.
Yeah, I'm
That's
a
why I
weird
love
one.
you, bro. Yeah. But Capoots, I'm gonna throw it over to you. Then I'm gonna have Tats close us out for the show. But Capoots, what do you think, if there's anything that Major League Baseball can do when it comes to outreach and when it comes to lowering the prices of the game? What are you thinking, baby?
Yeah, they gotta lower those ticket prices. They're too steep and too expensive. That's gonna really turn the fans off, and not bring them to the ballpark. Especially the fact that the Yankees don't they don't go the extra mile anymore. They don't they don't want to build a World Series contender. So why are you charging all this money when we don't even have a winning team on the field? What's the point of charging all this money when the Yankees are not even close to a World Series? I mean, it's like you're just robbing the fans. We have nobody on this team that's what really pisses me off. And in general, just the tickets at baseball is crazy. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absurd. So, yeah, man, they got to do something about that because the old Yankee Stadium was never like that. You enjoyed going to games. It was fun. It was an experience. You actually would sit and watch a baseball game. Now everything is just it's like a tourist attraction. It's a Disneyland. Everybody just wants to go to the Mohegan Sun, and they don't even want to watch the game. So to me, it's not baseball anymore. It's just it's like I said, a tourist attraction, and they got to change that and make it more fun for the fans to watch again because they don't even stay in their seats. They're just getting up. They're going to the bathroom. They're going to restaurants. It's ridiculous. So it's got to change.
Well, if I can, I want to give a shout out real quick to Jim Larrett's former Yankee catcher, who I had the pleasure to interview with my man Mikey Miles in the Fortran Express. I'm trying to get another interview with Jim Larrett's onto the channel. So if I do, Tats, make sure you pick up your phone when I call you, because I may ask you to tap in with me for that one. But one thing that Jim Larrett's told me when having a conversation comparing the old stadium to the new stadium, Jim Larrett said that he likes the new stadium for one fact only. Wherever you are at in the stadium, you can watch the game. Like whether it's on a TV, whether it's you walking, there's always a view of the game. He said in the old Yankee Stadium, there was hardly any view. He was like, you either had to be in the zone to watch the game, because when you was in the back trying to get popcorn, he was like, you could hardly even hear the game. Right? He says, so the only thing that he likes about the new stadium is that wherever you are at in the stadium, you always have an eye view of the field or of the TV playing the game. So you're always able to watch the game no matter where you're at in the stadium. So that's the one thing I could take away from the new Yankee Stadium. The old Yankee Stadium, I can't say that much because I hardly went to it as a kid. My family couldn't afford bringing me to Yankee Stadium whenever they want. I was able to go in their last season. Actually, the last week, they actually were at the stadium against Baltimore. I was able to go to the beginning of that opening series, not to the last two games, but the beginning of that opening series. But Tats, I'm going to throw it your way, bro, because I miss hearing your voice, Uncle Tats. I miss having you on the panel, Uncle Tats. But Tats, go ahead.
I have a very different perspective of how to bring the youth back into the game. And I think they need to make the minor league games more accessible. So what I would do is I would actually create a second MLB network. Like they have MTV, MTV2, remember those days? Have MLB2 where it's all about minor leagues. You know, when you have all these other sports with basketball, football, before they even hit the major leagues, before they're even drafted, everybody knows their name. Not in baseball. That's a problem. These kids aren't growing up with these players. They're only seeing them if they get to where they want to go. Where we're able to watch with basketball, we were able to watch, these players come up through, out of high school, what college they're going to, watching those games, have the college baseball games on a second network with the minor leagues. It just needs to be more accessible. I think that would be where even if you can't afford to go to a game, you can at least sit home and watch it. And you can check it and you can start becoming more familiar with these players. I think that's an avenue that they need to explore more.
Great.
Tats, that is a great point. That is a great point. They need to get on that. Maybe they heard you, right? Because as of today, I was able to just find out if you have the MLB network, if you have the app, if you have the pass, you have access to, I think, 80 minor league games that will be playing simultaneously at the same time as the major league games.
That's how I keep
so if you have the MLB app, right? But if you have the MLB app, if you have access, to minor leagues. So you'll be able to see Anthony Volpe throughout the season. You'll be able to see Jason Dominguez during the season. But to Tat's point, they need to have shows built around that as well. It's a great starting point to have access to the minor league games, because I don't think it was hard for us to watch Staten Island Yankee games back in the days when they were on TV and stuff like that. You used to have to go to BCAT or whatever public access TV station you had in whatever borough you lived in. That's when you get able to watch the minor league games. But I think it's a good way to go for Major League Baseball. Give access to the minor league games so people can view them, but at the same time, have pre-games, have post-games, have a network built around it, like Tat said, so kids can follow these players, not only for when they're in college, not only through the minor league system, but when they get drafted. So when they get to that stage, we already know who they are, right? Just imagine if Yankee fans knew about Aaron Judge, why he was making his way through the minor league system. If you're someone who's like us, who are like baseball weebs, we're going to look and know basically all these prospects, where they were born. L.I. Yankee King probably already knows Esteban Florio's favorite food, favorite drink. No. But Tats, I want you to close this out on today's episode, but give us your final statements, give us your thoughts. And for next week open panel, I want there to be a topic. So I'm just randomly throwing out there, Tats, give us a topic for next week so people can have it on their mind.
Oh, a topic for next week. I think it would
no pressure.
I think it has to be the pitching alignment with the injuries with Montas and Nesta. I think because we need a solid rotation if we're going to lead to this dominant bullpen. It's got to marry up and pair perfectly to navigate a game, because the offense has been very minimal over the last few seasons. So the more of a chance we give to the offense with our pitching staff, I think it'll give us an even better record than last year.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree. Shout out my man Rod Thompson. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Everyone who's on the open panel. TC Stills, my man Ivan, Michael Caputis, L.I. Yankee King, of course, and everybody that was in the chat. My man Rod Thompson just popped up in the chat. Salute to you. Jonathan is in the chat. I see you, Jonathan. If you guys can, sub to the new channel. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but all of our content from KOD Media, when it comes to the Yankees Morning Brew, when it comes to the Knicks Morning Brew, we are moving over to the Morning Brew Sports channel, right? The Morning Brew Sports, it's not a bad thing, right? We're getting a full endorsement and full sponsorship for KOD Media, so it's going to be a good ride this season. So make sure you guys subscribe to the new channel. Oh, Jonathan said I tried joining the panel. Oh, my fault, Jonathan. I didn't see that there. Jonathan, I make sure I have you on for next week. I apologize for that. But guys, let's just enjoy this, right? It is the beginning of spring training. Right now, we have Yankees news to talk about. Caputo, put a smile on your face because this starting rotation will be fine. Our offense will be fine, Caputis, all right? I know you don't want to give Gleyber Torres a contract extension because the man is lazy and slow. I get that, Caputis. I get that. But Caputo, just know 2023 Yankees, it's going to be a good time. L.I. Yankee King, I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, I'm going to go to the casinos this weekend. If I hit on those slot machines, I'm flying you out to New York City. I swear to God, I'm going to get you to New York City. I'm going to get you to a Yankee game. I'm going to get you to a Yankee game. I swear to God. Ivan, I appreciate you. TC, I appreciate you. Tats, Uncle Tats, you already know. Tats, I may be tapping into you because next week, Tuesday, I'm having on Joe from the shift. So if you're free at 11 a.m., let me know. I'll send you the link so you could join me and Joe. That's good with you.
Nope, I'll be there.
Hector, can I add a topic?
Go ahead, Eli. Add that topic, baby.
Why Brian Cashman is a bottom 5 GM?
Oh, wait. I'm sorry because I had something written. Thank you for bringing it up, Eli. Sorry, we're not closing out the show real quick. All right, so when it comes to Brian Cashman, right? When it comes to Brian Cashman, these are the pitchers that he has acquired since being in charge of the Yankees since 1998. We're going to start with free agent signings, right? We're not going to rank them. We're just going to rattle them off. CC Sabathia, Mike Mussina, Masahiro Tanaka, AJ Burnett, Jose Contreras, Jared Wright, Carl Pavano, Nathan Eovaldi, Jameson Taillon, and James Paxton. Those are all pitchers that Brian Cashman traded for and gave an extension to or signed in free agency. When it comes to those group of pitchers right there, I'm going to start off with you, TC. Can you name me 3 of those pitchers that you liked?
CC, for sure.
That's one.
Yeah. Burnett for 1 year.
Okay.
And Tanaka was okay. That'll be my 3.
Who if you had to rank, who would you rank when it comes to Mussina and AJ Burnett? Who are you putting ahead of them?
Oh yeah, Mussina. Mussina.
Yeah,
I forgot about
AJ.
Mussina.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Copy. Sunil, this is just starting pitchers. This is not offensive side of the game. Eli, same thing going to your way. Can you name me 3 of those pitchers that you like?
Mussina, Sabathia, Tanaka.
Okay. Now I'm going to get to the ones that he traded for at the trade deadline. I'm going to get into that. This is just free agency or pitchers that he traded for and gave a contract extension. I got another list.
No,
Go
I
ahead,
don't even
Ivan.
Mussina was
Oh, my
there.
fault. Go ahead.
There's only 3 of them that's worth talking about. The rest of them are garbage.
Yeah.
I think Mussina was there when I was a
Hey, very big trouble.
because I became a fan in 04. Was Mussina even a Yankee
Yeah,
in 04?
Mussina, yeah. He was signed after 2000 or 2001 season. He was his first year with the Yankees.
Okay.
When we lost against the Diamondbacks. But Ivan, your way. What are you thinking?
There's only 3 to talk about. The rest are garbage. I mean, let's save ourselves trouble. You know what I mean?
Tats, what are you thinking, Tats?
I haven't hit it. It's CC, Bruce, and Tanaka. Everybody else can just they could just go into the wind.
Caputi, same thing going your way. Out of those pitchers, can you name me 3 of them that you like?
Yeah, those 3. CC.
Come on, Pavano was.
Now I got
Pavano was clutch. Come on.
Yeah, okay, maybe for Minnesota, not for us.
9 games in 5 years.
Yeah, great. All
right. I got another group. Now, the
Wow.
next group of pitchers, these are pitchers that he traded for at the trade deadline. Right? Kevin Brown.
Oh, God.
Danny Nagel. Jeff Weaver.
Oh,
Estevan Loaiza. Right?
no.
Estevan Loaiza, I mean. Al Leiter.
No.
Sean Chacon.
Mm,
Rest in peace, Corey Lido.
yeah, no.
Brandon McCarthy, Chris Capuano,
No.
Jaime Garcia, Sonny Gray, Ian
No.
Happ, Lance Lynn, and Frankie Montas. Those were all starting pitchers that he traded for at the trade deadline.
You forgot one.
Stills.
You
What
forgot
is- who I forgot?
Oh, Hideki Irabu, you forgot too. Okay.
No. But no. That was before 98. That was before 98. That's why I only put for Cashman. TC Stills. Now, out of these group of people, can you name me just 2 of them that you like?
Who was the first one you named off?
Kevin Brown.
Wow.
Then Danny Nagel. Jeff Weaver.
I don't know.
Esteban Loaiza, who turned out to be a mule for the cartel. He got caught bringing coke back into the country, out of crossing the border.
He's in Cocaine Bear, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is.
Kevin. I'd have to say Kevin Brown. I guess he was at the end of his career, but I'd say Kevin Brown and oh my God, I don't know who else.
Fun fact, also Yankee fans. Fun fact.
Can't even think of one.
1998, when the Yankees got Kevin Brown in 1998, they traded for Kevin Brown, gave him a contract extension instead of signing in free agency Randy Johnson.
I like Randy Johnson.
So just imagine if the Yankees had Randy Johnson and Roger Clemens, 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001. Just imagine.
Sick.
Oh, don't worry, Hector. Yeah. That wouldn't have worked out at all. No, that wouldn't have worked at all.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Javier Bleeping Vasquez. That's the guy that was traded for by Brian Cashman. I forgot about Javier Vasquez. That wasn't during the trade deadline. But, guys, we've seen how many pitchers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, 26 pitchers. Right, that Brian Cashman has gotten as a Yankee GM.
Still has a job.
Whether it's free agency, whether it's trading at the trade deadline, and there's only three of those pitchers that we were like, you know what? CC, Musina, and Tanaka, those were good. Everything else was trash. That is sad.
Very sad.
He should be fired, and he still has a job. What a joke.
Yeah.
Here, you guys want to know the reality? Here's the reality. The only reason that this nimrodded moron, Brian Cashman, has a job is because he's Hal Steiner's best friend. You go out and he goes out and tests free agency. Ain't nobody picking him up.
No.
Nobody's picking him up.
Too, that they say, oh, if he would have got fired, he would have had a job tomorrow. No, he wouldn't have. Who would take him?
Who?
Not him.
Maybe the Rockies. Maybe the Rockies.
I don't know. What's he
Padres? The Padres may get him.
Padres ain't taking him.
Well,
the
listen,
Rockies and the Angels. That's about it.
I'm not going to say nobody would take Brian Cashman because that would be like a fool's statement to take because there at least will be one team out there that will be a sucker.
Maybe
right? If you have a team that spends a lot of money like San Diego, maybe the Knicks. If you have a team that spends a lot of money like San Diego, they may want someone like Brian Cashman who comes from a team that is used to spending money. So that may be the only reason. If it's for his baseball pedigree as a scout, no way. No team is going to sign him from that. But if it's somebody who comes from an organization that spends money and knows how to spend money in baseball, maybe there'd be one or two teams that would take a chance on him. We got a super chat in the building. My man Rod Thompson with the $10 super chat. He says the Yankees consistently pass up on elite starting pitchers and position players, then try to acquire them when they are past their prime. Rod hit that right on the head. If I had what's that spongy toy they gave you as a kid that had
whack-a-mole?
Bloop, bloop, bloop. There you go. If I had the whack-a-mole rock, bang, bang, bang. But now I appreciate all you.
But everybody on Twitter makes fun of LI because he says Brian Cashman's a bottom 5 GM. Oh, but he's acquired.
I don't know if he'd be a bottom 5 because his position player acquisitions, are 50-50, to be fair.
Yeah. His getting position players is a 50-50, like Tad said.
His pitching is atrocious. Yeah. I have to admit that.
Since 2016, you could say even his bullpen work. Even before that, let me take a step back. Since 2012, you could say even his work on the bullpen, because when Mariano went out, who would have ever thought that Rafael Soriano would have been able to hold it down until Mariano Rivera came out, right? Him getting Rafael Soriano on the cheap He just gave a few minor league prospects for him that never turned out to be anything. So from that, Andrew Miller, right? So he has developed some bullpen arms, but when it comes to starting pitchers, he's been horrible.
Yeah.
He's been flat up garbage. Horrible.
He's basically the Angels of starting pitching. Don't know what the hell that is.
He's the New York Knicks of starting pitchers. How about that? How about that?
Yeah.
But no, guys, I appreciate all you guys. You know, I love doing this open panel with you guys because you guys add so much energy to the show. Appreciate the entire chat as well. Like always, guys, if you can, support the new channel, the Morning Brew Sports. We'll be moving all of our content over when it comes to the Yankees Morning Brew, Knicks Morning Brew. Next week, Tuesday, tune in because I will be having on my man Joe from The Shift. Tats will be helping me with that if he's free. And like I said, appreciate everyone for tuning in. Like always, peace, love, prosperity, and let's go Yankees, baby, right? Let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees. Peace out. Ella, you got to put the fingers up. Ella, there you go. Bye.